welcome to another episode of Dan's album analysis and ranking. Today I have Disneyland After Dark, or DAD, depending which area of the world you're from. So today's suggestion comes from at Dave Brown 8252, and like I said, every suggestion I put them on my list, and then I was like, okay, what am I going to do this week? And then a couple of days ago, I saw, just by following the girls of Thunder Mother on Instagram, I noticed that they actually went and saw this band live, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, they're still around? Like, this was a very minor hit back then. And I use the word minor there, but anyway, more on that later on. But yeah, they went and saw the band live. I'm just like, oh, and I went and looked, and I'm like, oh my God, these guys have like over 10, if not more, albums. I was like, yeah, that did not transfer well to the USA market, I could tell you that. So I gotta learn how to drink here. Jeez, my shirt's gonna reek of alcohol. So yeah, today's suggestion comes from at Dave Brown 8252. Yeah, when I noticed that they were still around, why not do this album here? So a little bit of history for this one here. I have the Denmark. So this album came out in 1989 on Medley Records. So I have the Danish label version, Medley Records. Okay, this came out in 1989. But if you're in Canada or the US, you might know these guys as DAD or DAD, Disneyland After Dark. So when they got their international, so Disneyland After Dark was their original name. When they got their international deal, apparently, they decided to change their name to DAD to avoid a lawsuit from Disney, obviously, for using the word Disneyland. And I remember at the time when they showed us that one video that pretty much any Canadian or US folk ever saw was from this album, actually, Sleeping My Day Away. They said, yeah, they used to be called Disneyland After Dark, then it went to DAD because of the Disney thing and blah, blah, blah. So, Disneyland After Dark, I'm going to be talking about the No Fuel Left for the Pilgrims album, which I guess is their, again, I'm not an expert on DAD or Disneyland. This is the only album I have. Maybe I'll even get the last one there. It came out in 2024, and apparently it's pretty good. But yeah, it came out in 1989 on Medley Records, which is the Danish label. But when they did the international deal, they came out on Warner as DAD. Also produced by Disneyland After Dark, or DAD, and Nick Foss. So they're from Denmark. What you have here is Jesper Binzer on vocals and guitars, Stig Peterson on bass and background. More on that bass player later, by the way. Jacob A. Binzer, which is the little brother of Jesper. He's lead guitar and background vocals, and Peter L. Jensen on drums. So I remember back then seeing the video for Sleeping My Day Away. It's actually a pretty cool song, actually. But what we realized that the bass player, and he's evolved, like he's done so much regarding his bass in, like, I was, wow, I couldn't believe what, they're still active and popular back in Europe there. But I remember back then, like, my God, this guy, you know, like how a bass guitar has a thicker neck and 4 strings? This guy had a thinner neck and only 2 strings on his bass. I always thought that was a pretty weird, but yeah, his body one time apparently was an iPhone, and then the screen of the iPhone was, I guess, a camera or a TV feed from another camera showing the crowd. Anyway, I found out, like, just researching about this band here, found out some pretty interesting stuff. So Disneyland After Dark, DAD, you know, that came along. I was like, how come I have this? Because I like, so now it makes sense that I got the Danish label before they got their international deal, which changed their name to DAD. So let's go and do a deep analysis on this album right here. Sorry about that. I just realized while I was talking, there you see a little stoppage. Forgot to do the total of the album here. So let's go do a ranking of the album No Fuel Left for the Pilgrims, song by song. So the first one, I would not even know who this band is had it not been for that one video, which is Sleeping My Day Away, which was played on the Power Hour here in Canada. I'm assuming MTV Headbangers Ball also. It was also on a CD compilation of a bunch of hair metal bands called Youth Gone Wild, which I've talked about before on this channel. It was on that also. So the first song, Sleeping My Day Away, love the song. I'm telling you right away, 10 out of 10. It's a great song. They have, oh my God, I don't know. They have a Western-ish type guitar sound. Like a little bit like James Bond, you know, that part there. No distortion, just a weird, sounds like a Western band there. 'Cause I know my friend Keith from Attack from Down Under went and got one of their earlier ones, and he says, my God, that album is like borderline country or Western, I guess there. I'm like, well, this one's not country at all. It's like hard rock, hair metal, but more hard rock there, like, so. I find these sound like a mix between Faster Pussycat and the Angels from Australia, if that makes any sense there, with some little westernish feels to it. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent again. Sleeping My Day Away, 10 out of 10. Next one is Jihad, which took me a while to figure out that's what he was saying in the chorus. But he keeps talking about No Fuel Left for the Pilgrims. I would say it's a decent song, good rocker there. A 7. There's nothing, by the way, I hate about this album. Okay, I'm just letting you know now. But yeah, this one's like more like a 7 out of 10. Jihad, good little rocker here. Point of View, which is the third song, and again with these little. If you're familiar with the song Sleeping My Day Away, you'll know that part where he's playing the guitar. That sound comes back like in song number, I think it was Point of View. And that's what I mean. It sounds like a little bit like James Bond-ish, you know, that little no distortion. But again, Point of View, again, another decent song there. I'm, again, giving it a 7 out of 10. Good song. That little westernish guitar riff comes back again there. So, anyway, so far we got a 10, 7, and 7. Next up, Rim of Hell. And that one's okay. Don't hate it. It's okay. I'm going to give that one a 6 out of 10. Again, nothing really special about this one here. Like, I listened to this like 4 or 5 times just to get ready for this episode. I was like, man, there's nothing bad. Some songs are just nothing great about them either. So Rim of Hell is good. Next one, ZCMI. I don't even know what it means. I didn't even look it up. To me, okay, first of all, I'm giving it a 5. It's probably my least favorite song of the album. The chorus sounds forced. Like, it's like, all right, you gotta put in ZCMI. Like, they say it so fast, it doesn't flow well. and that part sticks out like a sore thumb in a bad way. So yeah, ZCMI, I don't even know what it means. Didn't bother looking. But it just sounds forced the way it's added to the chorus. So yeah, 5 out of 10 for me for that. Last song on side 1 is True Believer. Again, decent song, nothing great. But yeah, I'm going to put that one 7 out of 10. Now we go back to side 2. I'm not talking that much, but I need to go and get a sip every 2 seconds here. Side 2 starts with Girl Nation. Again, good, decent song. Nothing bad about it. Nothing great either. There's some great stuff coming up. But yeah, that one's like a 7 out of 10. Nothing special. Nothing bad either. Like, that's the thing. So yeah, 7 out of 10 for me. Lords of Atlas. Now here is where, am I wrong or are they wrong? Now, I've said the word Atlas, like Atlas, all my life, okay? I'm French, who can speak English. Pretty good, I guess. But they're singing the songs like Lords of Atlas, and I'm like, am I wrong? Or are they wrong? Or who's wrong? Because there was also a guy at my work, we had a tool called Atlas, actually, which was a map thing. And he used to call it Atlas, but he was a French guy talking English. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe this doesn't know about Atlas. So is it Atlas or Atlas? Anyway, because we're the Lords of Atlas. Just, again, nothing. I know English is not their first language. That's not what, I'm not making a dig at the band here, because I know there's a song by Saxon, and they're English. And then it's called, the song's called Conquistador. But how Biff sings it is Conquistador. And we're all like, that's not how you pronounce that word, is it? So like, it really, like, are you just purposely mispronouncing a word for a song? So yeah, Lords of Atlas, whatever, is a 6. It's okay there. It's nothing really, maybe it's because the word Atlas just bugs me. But next up we have Overmuch, which actually I did enjoy. Again, nothing great, but I did love the backgrounds on, you know, there's a lot of ooh-ees in Overmuch. Good song. I'm still giving that one a 7 out of 10. Then comes Siamese Twin. By the way, I'm looking at the song lengths. A lot of them are like under 3 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them are under 3 minutes, like close to 2 minutes. That's unheard of almost. But anyway, next up is Siamese Twin. Yeah. Okay. 6 out of 10. Then, pay attention for these 2 last ones. Wild Talk is actually a pretty cool chorus. I'm going to give that one an 8 out of 10. It's, again, there's nothing bad about this album. The first song is great, and more on something else coming great there. But yeah, Wild Talk, pretty good song actually. Love the chorus, love everything about it. 8 out of 10. Not a perfect song, but there you go. And last one, Ill Will. So this one I was like, okay, first of all, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Okay, it's a great song. Not catchy at all, but it's got a heavy and original riff. Kind of even reminds me of something the Wild Hearts would do. So Ill Will gets a 9 out of 10. Great song. The reason it's not a 10 out of 10 is just the riffs itself, as original and cool as it is not memorable. It's just very original. If that makes any sense? I don't know. But anyway, 9 out of 10. Great way to end the album on a song that sounds nothing like the rest, but it's got a cool, heavy riff. Cool, heavy, original riff. just not memorable. Like, I can't sing it right now, but I remember, I'm like, oh, that's a cool riff. A little bit like Wild Hearts. So, out of 12 songs, the total for this album is 7 out of 10. Again, good album. I have no problems with this one here. Enough that it piqued my curiosity as to, my God, I have a lot of others to buy from this band. When I saw the girls from Thunder Mother at the concert, I was like, oh my God, these guys are still around. Like, I was not even aware of that. This is not known at all in Canada, except for this one. If anybody has ever heard any DAD, would have been from this album here, which is that video, Sleeping My Day Away, which is borderline genius. It's a great song. So there you go. If you want a band that sounds a little bit like Faster Pussycat mixed with The Angels, then check out DAD, Disneyland After Dark. I don't know which version, because I know there's versions of Disneyland After Dark for this album, and there's also DAD. So I guess the other DAD was the Warner version here. It's a cool but complicated story, or backstory for these guys here. And there you go. And of course, they're noted for that bass player with 2 strings on his bass guitar, and not a thick neck, but a thinner neck. Check out the video for Sleeping My Day Away. It's actually pretty cool. So, anyway, on that note, this is my review for Disneyland After Dark, No Fuel Left for the Pilgrims, suggested by @DaveBrown8252. If you also would like to have a shout out and a suggestion written on, write it in the comments. I'm gonna go look it up. Every album that is suggested for by you guys, the viewers, I write it down. Whether I have them all, I would say 90% of what you've suggested so far, I have it. Some I have to go and get there. We'll get to that when we get to that. But yeah, and also check out my Instagram link below. That'll tell you what I do own and do not own, I guess. Well, it won't tell you what I don't own because I won't have posted it. But anyway, I post a vinyl of the day on Instagram, so it'll give you an idea of what I have as a discography here. I have over 1,500 vinyl albums here, so and going strong. So anyway, if you want, like I said, just write in the comments if you would like me to do a album analysis for a certain band. And today was @DaveBrown8252. So thank you for the suggestion, and thank you guys for watching, and we shall see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.